Let's examine a real-life dialogue. The manipulator makes the girl feel guilty so that she pays his bills. Using guilt tripping, gaslighting, emotional blackmail, financial abuse. Then we'll discuss what happened and how to resolve the situation. Laura, the victim, late 20s, sits at the kitchen table, surrounded by overdue bills and an empty wallet. She rubs her temples, stressed. Mark, the manipulator, early 30s, paces near the doorway, phone in hand, agitated.
Mark, I told you I don't have much left this month. I'm barely making rent as it is.
You think I don't know that? I am not exactly swimming in cash either, Laura. But this is urgent. If I don't pay off that loan, by Friday they are going to start calling my family. Do you want them harassing my mom?
Of course not. It's just...
Just what? You know, I'd help you in a heartbeat if the tables were turned. Remember when your car broke down last month? Who took off work to drive you around? Me. I always take care of you, don't I?
You do. And I'm grateful. Sincerely, I am.
Then show it. I need you to be here for me now. Please. $500 is all I'm asking.
$500 is a lot for me, Mark. I'm already behind on these bills.
These? Half of these are luxuries anyway. You could cut back if you really wanted. I hate to say it, but sometimes you're not the best with money.
Hurt, not the best with money.
I'm stretching every dollar.
You know I took a second job on weekends to pay off my credit cards.
Exactly, and you're doing fine now. Meanwhile, I'm the one drowning here. Do you really want to see me fail?
Of course not. I just... This doesn't feel fair. I helped you out last time and you promised.
Promised what? I never promised anything. I said I'd try to pay you back soon. And I did try. It's not my fault my paycheck barely covers my own expenses.
I thought we agreed you'd pay me back once you got that bonus.
What bonus, Laura? That never happened. You must be mixing things up. Look, I'm not here to argue. I'm here asking for your support. I can't believe you are making me back like this. Do you have any idea how small that makes me feel? I'm your boyfriend. I thought we were a team. Right now I feel like I'm all alone in this.
You are not alone, Mark. I'm here.
No, I'm not your priority. I see that now. I'm just the guy who helps you, but when I need something, sarcastic, suddenly you can't.
You're twisting things. It's not that I don't want to help. I just literally have almost nothing left until payday.
Fine. If $500 is more important to you than me, then fine. Forget I asked. I'll figure it out on my own somehow. Maybe sell my guitar or... I don't know. It's okay.
Mark, wait! I never said you're not important. You know you mean the world to me.
Sure doesn't feel like it. A tense silence. Laura wipes her eyes, clearly distraught at the thought of letting him down. Mark sighs heavily, as if in despair.
I'll do it. I'll get you the money.
You will?
I'll figure something out. Maybe I can delay paying my credit card this month. It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you, baby. I swear you're not going to regret this. I promise. I'll pay you back as soon as I can. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Scene ends with Laura closing her eyes in resignation as Mark holds her, a subtle triumphant look on his face. Commentary by host. What we just witnessed is a powerful example of emotional manipulation in a relationship. In this scene, Mark uses guilt-tripping and even a bit of gaslighting to pressure Laura into giving him money. Let's break down what happened and why it's so insidious. What happened in psychological terms? Mark appealed to Laura's sense of loyalty and guilt. He said things like, "I always take care of you," and "I thought we were a team," implying that if she doesn't give him what he wants, she's ungrateful or abandoning him. This tactic is known as guilt tripping, intentionally making someone feel guilty to influence their behavior. By reminding Laura of past favors, remember when your car broke down? I took care of you. And by questioning her love, if $500 is more important to you than me. Mark is inducing guilt so that Laura feels she owes him. Mark also dismissed her legitimate concerns about money. When Laura pointed out she's struggling, he belittled her expenses and even suggested she's misremembering his promise to pay her back. This is a subtle form of gaslighting, making her doubt her own memory and judgment. He said, "You must be mixing things up," which planted doubt in Laura's mind about what was true. Gaslighting and guilt tripping often go hand in hand in abusive dynamics, each amplifying the other's impact. Another key aspect here is financial abuse. Notice how Mark is trying to control or exploit Laura's finances for his own benefit. Even though Laura herself is barely scraping by, he pressures her to give up her limited money to serve his needs. Financial abuse is incredibly common in abusive relationships. It's present in 98% of domestic abuse cases, and it often keeps victims trapped and dependent. By draining her financially and making her responsible for his problems, Mark gains more power over Laura. The victim's feelings. How is Laura feeling through all this? From the start, we saw her anxiety and reluctance. She was distressed about her bills and clearly uncomfortable with Mark's request. As he piled on the guilt, Laura became confused, hurt, and overwhelmed. She started doubting herself. I thought we agreed you'd pay me back, and feeling like a bad partner for wanting to say no. By the end, Laura was emotionally exhausted and defeated. She agrees to do what Mark wants, not because she can afford to or truly wants to help at that moment, but because she feels cornered and afraid of losing the relationship or making Mark angry with her. She's left feeling used, guilty, and anxious about how she'll cope after giving him the money. Tactics used and why they work. In this episode, several psychological manipulation tactics are on display. Guilt tripping. Mark deliberately manufactures guilt in Laura. He implies she's a bad partner if she refuses, using lines like, "I thought we were a team," and referencing his past help. This plays on Laura's empathy and her fear of seeming selfish or ungrateful. Gaslighting. Mark distorts the truth, denying promises and criticizing her memory. You must be mixing things up. By doing so, he makes Laura question her own recollection and trust his version of events. This confusion weakens her resolve. Emotional blackmail. Through his words, "If $500 is more important to you than me," Mark effectively says, "Help me or you'll lose me." This is a form of emotional blackmail overlapping with guilt tripping. It forces Laura to choose between her own needs and the relationship, a choice engineered to make her comply out of fear. Financial abuse. The entire scenario is rooted in financial manipulation. Mark is exploiting Laura's finances and compassion to serve himself. Over time, this can wreck Laura's financial independence and self-confidence. Each of these tactics works by undermining the victim's confidence and twisting their love and conscience against them. Laura's kindness and trust are turned into vulnerabilities that Mark exploits. Impact on children and future relationships. It's important to note that this kind of manipulative behavior doesn't just affect the two people in this scene. If Laura and Mark stay together and this pattern continues, it could have serious long-term effects on both of them, and on any children they might have. For instance, children who grow up observing this dynamic may become anxious, confused, or blame themselves. They might learn that relationships are about guilt and control rather than love and respect. This can later affect their own self-esteem and how they form relationships, potentially repeating the cycle of abuse in their adult life. Moreover, a manipulator like Mark might also use guilt and pressure on children. For example, making a child feel responsible for the parent's emotions. "You made daddy upset. You should be sorry." This creates a toxic, fear-based home environment. Overall, trust and healthy communication in the family erode, replaced by fear, obligation, and guilt. In the long run, Laura could suffer from low self-worth, depression, or even financial ruin, and Mark's behavior could escalate if unchecked. No healthy relationship can thrive under these conditions. The damage can span years and even affect the next generation. How to recognize and resist guilt tripping. So, what can someone in Laura's position do? The first step is to recognize the manipulation. Here are some signs and steps to consider. Notice the red flags. If a loved one's words consistently make you feel guilty for voicing your needs or saying no, pause and examine the situation. Common guilt trip phrases include things like, "After all I've done for you," or "If you really loved me, you would." Feeling excessively responsible for someone else's feelings or problems is a red flag. Stand firm with boundaries. You have the right to say no. Calmly assert your boundary. For example, "I'm sorry, I can't give you money right now." Be direct. You do not need to justify yourself endlessly or apologize for taking care of your own needs. As hard as it is, try not to get drawn into an argument. Repeat your stance if needed. Don't fall for reversals. Manipulators might twist the situation, as Mark did, to make themselves the victim and you the villain. Remind yourself that their crisis is not your fault. You can care about someone without being responsible for solving everything for them. Don't let accusations like "you don't care about me" derail you. That's manipulation talking, not truth. Seek outside perspective. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or counselor about what's happening. Describing the situation to someone outside the bubble can help you see things more clearly. They can remind you that you're not a bad person for standing up for yourself. Sometimes just hearing "this is not okay" from someone else can strengthen your resolve. Plan and protect yourself. If financial manipulation is a recurring issue, take steps to protect your money. Keep your account secure and consider setting aside an emergency fund that the manipulator cannot access. In serious cases of ongoing financial or emotional abuse, it may be necessary to seek professional help or even plan a safe exit from the relationship. You are not alone and help is available. Self-care and confidence. After standing up to a guilt trip, you might still feel doubt or guilt. Combat this by engaging in self-care and reminding yourself why you set that boundary, because you deserve respect and your needs matter. Build your self-esteem through supportive friends, hobbies, or therapy. The stronger your confidence grows, the harder it is for someone to manipulate you through guilt. To wrap up, the scene you saw is unfortunately all too common. Many of us might know a Mark or even recognize a bit of Laura's situation in our own lives. The key takeaway is that love and respect should never be used as bargaining chips. A healthy relationship is built on mutual support and honesty, not guilt, fear, or obligation. By learning to spot these manipulation tactics, we can protect ourselves and those we care about. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll explore another everyday scenario of manipulation and discuss how to break free from its grip. Remember, knowledge and awareness are your power. Stay safe and take care of each other.